There's a certain kind of level of cultural exhaustion happening at the moment. We've had all these transitions. In one generation, everything was fixed for you. You told who you were worshiping. You were told what job you were gonna have and who you were going to marry. And what you had is a little bit that meaning was higher, relationships were higher, but you felt oppressed by what you should be doing. And then in a new mode of living, the generation shifted to choice. You marry who you want to marry, you worship who you want to worship, you choose whatever job you want, but the tank of meaning became lower and the tank of relationships became lower. And now we find ourselves in a brand new season of globalization, of AI, of finding new things about the world around us and all of creation through space. You see a lot of movement from city to city, from place to place post-COVID, a connectivity that actually doesn't lead to greater relationships than less. We have become the kind of generation who says, I have a lot of friends, but I don't have a lot of friends. Our tank has grown in freedom, but our meaning is the lowest and our relationships are the lowest. And at times we begin to really realize that so much freedom actually ends up becoming oppressive. And we might see this as a moment to become defeatist and say this is all over. But I think this is the moment where we begin to read our histories and really see when revival begins to come. Martin Lloyd-Jones wrote this: read the histories and accounts of every revival that has ever taken place, and you will invariably find this, that the one man or group or the little group of people who have been used in the way by God to send revival have always known a state of utter desperation and final despair. Every single one of them. Read the journals of Whitefield and Wesley. Read the life history of all of these men. They have always come to this place where they have realized their utter and absolute impotence, their final paralysis. There is the Red Sea. Here is the enemy. There are the mountains. They are shut in. They are shut down. They are crushed to their knees. It is always the prerequisite. It is always the moment in which God acts. You want to know why? Because faith begins when your ability ends. We cannot be programmatic. We cannot be formulaic. We cannot say that revival is going to come on our own terms. This is not technique. This is the power of God to do his work. And what do we need? We need a moment where the culture will see the end of themselves. We need a moment where the culture begins to see social bonds breaking. We need a moment where the stories of the culture no longer make sense for meaning in people's lives. And let me tell you right now, that moment is here. The days are coming where the plowman shall overtake the reaper. And the question for you and I is, are we going to believe in him to do the work? Why? Because of belief in his divine omnipotence is the belief that he is coming to bring a revival.